because you're still paying for the large popcorn, so that's why they give you the paper to,
To measure.
Here you go. Dump what fits into the head and eat the rest, pig. No, I'm kidding. Hey, look, everyone. We're all together in the same space. We're not on the computer.
He
Oh,
green screened me in.
Yeah.
oh
I'm across the
no.
country.
We're actually shooting this in the volume. We're on the Disney lot right now.
Wow. Aren't we lucky like that?
God, I wish.
So yeah, we just got out of seeing Scream 6 all together. We took the big old road trip. We found somewhere in the middle and we met up.
Yeah. It was really great.
Yeah.
And so
I missed my friends.
Yeah, it's really great to watch something with you guys not on a laptop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are you saying?
I mean, that's fun too, but this is better.
So yeah, we'll start off with just some general thoughts on the movie and then get a little more into some spoiler details and all that fun. Overall, I had a good time. I think it's all right. It's got some good scares, some good chase scenes. It's a Scream movie. At this point, we're 6 movies in. I would hope you kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah. It's nowhere near the worst. It's kind of in the middle for me. Yeah, like you said, great kills, great, like, just, it's really fun. And, you know, if you know this franchise, you know what you're going to get. And so there's no real way to be too disappointed, to walk out too disappointed. Yeah, I think there's a lot to like about this movie. It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite. I liked it.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was fun. Like they said, like good action, good kills, pretty gory. Not the goriest, but pretty gory. I wish there were more characters. I don't know. Like when we started getting like towards the end of the movie, I was like, oh, who even like is there left that this could be? And I wish there were more like characters to play with. That like who is it? I felt like there weren't enough left near the end, but I liked it a lot. I had a good time. It's not my least favorite one, but it's not my favorite one either.
So yeah, pretty hard to talk about the movie without spoilers.
Yeah.
The whole thing is a spoiler.
Pretty much, if you're interested, go watch it. And so yeah, jumping into spoilers, Morgan, you just said it. We're going straight into the Ghostface reveal of, you are right that there like aren't enough characters that by the end of it I did start to question, like, okay, is it somebody in the movie or is it just gonna be like, we talked about the Cult of Stu and the idea of Stu Macher coming back, and so a part of me did start to question if it was gonna be Stu, just because
Like who even was there left?
I was gonna say they were all dropping so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it turns out that they're actually Richie's family, which, like we said when the movie ended, they did Scream 2 again.
Yeah.
The gang goes off to college and they're haunted by the family of the previous killers.
Yeah. I don't have too much of a problem with it. I think it's interesting, as I mentioned before, I think it's interesting to have a family of Ghostface. The fact that there are 3 of them. I think that was kind of a neat, like, you know, neat new layer. You know, doing Ghostface again, it kind of is hard to, like, make each Ghostface different. But I felt like this one was kind of different, and that it was just like, it was a whole family of them. I think that was a pretty cool twist. A pretty cool subversion.
Yeah, I could have used like a little more foreshadowing, and it might be there. I'll have to watch it again and like go back and see, because like one of them is a total wild card. Even I was like, oh, like I could have used a little like him talking about, oh, like my dad, blah blah blah, like just one line like that, and I would have been like, oh, okay, like just to kind of plant that thought in my head. But yeah, Quinn was a total surprise. The detective we all caught on to pretty early on. That one wasn't much of a twist. I think that was the most disappointing thing, was like I loved the opening. Like I thought it was so smart and like subversive, and then like, so I expected the twist at the end to be like really good, and it was just like, oh, okay, all right, we're doing that again, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of get. I'm just thinking. I kind of agree with Morgan there. It's just like there really isn't a lot to Ethan as a character. Out of all the ones, he's probably the weakest. I Gwen was a surprise, but it was kind of like a really cool one because thinking back on like some of the earlier stuff she said, there is a lot that she was kind of that you could kind of pick up and be like, that is suspicious. So I do think she was at least set up, but not really like Ethan.
Right.
And I wish that, yeah, as you said, there was a bit more there. Yeah, that just kind of like helped the audience because these movies are a game. You're playing like a whodunit, and so I guess I just wish there was a little bit more inclusion. Like they would include the audience in a little bit more. Yeah.
Which, like you just said, the including the audience more in the whodunit with the opening kill. How we get Ghostface killing Ghostface.
Yeah.
Before that happened, I thought with the reveal that the actor's name.
Tony Revolori.
Yeah, that I figured it was gonna be, and Morgan said this too, that we, the audience, know who Ghostface is the whole movie, but then that didn't happen.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people would have liked it, but a lot of people would have been pissed because that's not what we're promised. But like the whole point of this franchise is like turning those expectations on their head, like just subverting the whole genre and like very, very meta. And I feel like that's kind of like as meta as you can get with the Scream movies. This is Ghostface in the first 5 minutes. Here he is. You're gonna see all about him. Like, yeah, that's crazy. Especially when he walked past Tara and it was like, oh, like he knows her. I was like, oh shit, like that. That is where we're going. And then he gets dead.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
R.I.P. Samara.
Yeah.
We kind of knew that she wasn't. She wasn't in like any of the trailers or anything. But yeah, she was my prediction for Ghostface, one of them, and so
she's a good first kill, though. I think she deserved it.
Yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah.
That Scream.
Yeah. So good.
Oh God. And then also when it comes to like the whole detective being one of the ghost faces, I did think it's weird. Maybe I missed a line because like how they said Quinn said her brother died in a car crash, but how he comes out pretending to be sad about Quinn's death, and he says, my son's gone, my daughter's gone, my whole family's gone, and I was kind of caught off guard by like did I miss something? What son is gone?
Yeah. Just because like Quinn has a line earlier when she's talking to Tara, and she mentions like with everything that happened with my brother, my dad is just like
really protective.
Yeah. And that was just the one thing that kind of made me perk up of just like mysterious brother who died, and then throughout the film you get Ghostface over the phones talking about family ties, and you're gonna pay for what you did, which I do like that they threw it up, kind of like the ambiguity of that line of just like, because you have Sam going through like everyone's got their conspiracy theory about her being the actual killer, and so it's like, is Ghostface referring to that or is Ghostface referring to something else? And we find out at the end that Ghostface is referring to Richie being killed and them wanting revenge for that. But I did think it was interesting that they kind of threw it up in the air. It's like, what is he referring to when he says you're going to pay for what you did? And I thought that was I like that, how playful that was.
Yeah, I think that conversation where he's like, I lost my daughter, I lost my son, that was when I picked up that something was wrong with him. Especially when he was like, we're gonna get those fuckers that did it, like whatever. That anyone who messes with my family gets their punishment. And I was like, oh no.
He said something else later that was another one. It was like, sir, excuse me.
It also didn't feel like the red herrings were as strong this time, because like last time around it was like, we know none of these people, any of them could be the killer, and this time like there were a couple people that I was kind of suspicious of, but like Mindy's girlfriend, I was like, she's probably fine. Like Sam's boyfriend, I was like, they're not going to do that twice, like that's probably fine. And he wasn't even like suspicious, except for the ladder scene. I thought maybe he'd whip out a knife, and I was like, whoa. Like when he was like holding the ladder the whole time, but he turned out being fine too. And it was just like, I don't know, there were a lot more misleading people in the first movie, and I think the red herrings are so fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wish they played up that angle a little bit more.
Yeah.
Had more fun because a lot of like the kind of game is they only really did it once, and that was with Ethan. Just like the whole, like, where were you? You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty convenient that you're here, and they only did that once
Right.
in this movie. But like that's kind of like the main staple of just like switching the amount of characters and what characters in what room and who's where at what
Right.
time, and they kind of don't do that in this one. They're kind of just like, yeah, we're all gonna stay in the same room, and we're not going anywhere.
It's fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
The
but
trauma.
yeah, that just kind of lessens the game because it's just
Yeah.
like, well, all of these people, I can see them, and
Right.
they're not the one in the Ghostface costume.
That's where, like, I had the detective picked out pretty quick because he was, like you just said, the only one not in the room.
Right.
All other named characters, except for, like, with this film, we got the Return of the Legacies. We got Kirby and Gale back.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Praise be, they both made it through. No legacy is lost this time. I didn't get my Sydney cameo like I predicted in the trailer. But I think they gave an okay like they acknowledged that she wasn't there.
Yeah.
They said, basically she's off. Ghostface is back again. She's packing up the
Deserves her happy
family.
ending.
Yeah.
Yes, and she deserves her happy ending. I liked that line a lot just
Yeah.
because, they keep giving Sydney her happy ending and then taking it away. She
Yeah.
keeps getting dragged back into this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It did fine without her, and it was also kind of respectful of Nev and the character.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. Speaking of being respectful to characters, they kind of backtracked on Gale a little bit with her character development.
Oh dear.
And that, at the end of the last film, she's like, I'm not writing any more books. And then we literally open with her character, and she's written another book. I did like the joke of her, like, dodging the punch. That was pretty funny.
Yes.
But
Very good.
yeah, it's just weird to just like
Yeah.
take that huge step back, as huge of a step. It's like we've done this, as Morgan said before, like 3 times with this character, where we keep backtracking, and it's like everyone hates her again, and then they're fine with her, and it's just like we just had to do that again, and it was just a little more repetitive than I would like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have introduced like a new news anchor that's like doing all the shit that Gale did, and Gale would have been like, hey, that's disrespectful, don't do that to my friends. And then she would have been like, why, you did it? And she'd be like, yeah, well, I've grown, instead of just
Yeah.
like writing up
Yeah, because I really like that ending at the end of Scream 5, because you know how she says let these fuckers die in anonymity, and then she's gonna write about Dewey, and then it's, I guess, the money of it got to her, and
Yeah,
she just decided to write about another killing.
it's just like, what? You're hosting Good Morning America. Like, how much more money do you need?
True.
Right. And she didn't even like make up with them at the end either. They didn't even like give her an arc. She was just like, here's this cool Ghostface stuff, okay, bye. And then she almost dies. And that's like it. And they're like, yeah, Gale is fine.
Yeah.
Off screen, she's fine. Maybe she was supposed to die. And that's why there's no, here is Gale, she is fine at the end, because they were thinking about killing her off.
Yeah, I
And
mean
then
that is
didn't,
possible, and then
like,
they
in
like
post.
tested it, and people hated it, so they,
Yeah.
ADR to, oh, Gale is,
Because I think it's so weird that everyone else shows up in the last scene and she doesn't. Like, you just don't get that closure with her. And she's a legacy character. And I was like,
I don't know. Well, they do have the line of like, well, we tried to keep Mindy in the hospital, but she
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to come here.
Yeah.
love that for her. Girl boss.
And then our core 4 all survived.
Yeah, love them.
Weak hand.
Oh my goodness.
Killing me.
Yeah, I very much appreciate that the Meeks twins are the new Deweys,
God,
and
yeah.
they're like, they're kind of stabbing bags at this
Oh
point.
my god. I don't know how Chad.
I have no idea
I
how you
mean-
survived that.
Dewey went
my
through some
God.
rough stuff, but oh my
Oh,
god.
Chad.
This movie, Chad, is a pincushion.
Oh wow.
Just a leaking bag of blood.
When Sam took the knife out of Kirby, I was like, you're not supposed to do that!
I
Yeah.
know.
When you get stabbed, you have to leave it in. But that said, if you take it out, don't put it back in. Just keep it out.
Oh, I know. It was a cute.
Knife safety.
It was a cute line of the, I'm gonna need this. But
And she
like,
does say like fuck him up.
Yeah.
Like she kind of gives permission.
Oh
So
my god.
glad to see that Kirby made it through though.
Yeah.
Even after that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They kind of had me there for a second. I really thought they jumped the shark with the whole like, oh, Kirby doesn't work for the FBI. She's the killer. Then they had me for a second. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. Because I think it's so funny that in every movie they kind of reference that. It's like, well, maybe it's one of the original characters. Maybe they went crazy after the last movie. And they always kind of say that. And I thought this time that they might
thought it would be the
actually,
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
might actually do that. But I'm glad that they didn't go that route.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think at one point I thought it was going to be Tara. I don't remember why or like during what scene, but I was like, oh, what if she has an eye? And then that obviously didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't. But like her like not getting therapy and then like pretending that nothing happened, and I was like, oh, what if she snapped? Everyone thought it would be Sam. What if it's Tara?
And just everybody had the beef with Scream 5 about the lack of chase scenes or like theatrics
Yeah.
with it. It was just a lot of stabbing their dead.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like this one has so many memorable set pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. Like, I know, like, even though I went in pretty sure that Gail wasn't gonna die, I was tense during her apartment
Yeah.
sequence.
Yeah.
Just like I told them, Gail's better than me. I just stayed in that bedroom. There is one door in and out of this room.
Right.
You can come get me. I'm coming after you.
I still love her hang up callback. I'm gonna
Oh.
be thinking about that forever.
Yes.
So smart. So smart.
Yeah. Roger L. Jackson really sells that moment with his huh. that was so great. He's so great in this movie. And I love the we were talking about it earlier. I love the voice changer being mounted on the mask. So you have Ghostface
Yeah.
actually talking, because you really only ever hear him over the phone. Like you really only hear Ghostface like over the phone or at the end when you see the killer talking into the voice changer. You don't really get that like sense that he's a character that can talk. But I like that in this movie you have those scenes where it's just like, yeah, that's just Roger L. Jackson's voice coming out of Ghostface right now.
Love that.
And yeah, that's a neat little addition that I like with these radio silence films.
The ladder sequence of them going from apartment to apartment.
Good.
Again, I told these I take my chances with Ghostface. I'm not going across that.
My knee would just go through. My knee would fall through the gap in between, and I'd die. I thought he was just gonna push the end of the ladder
Yeah, I
off the
thought he
window.
was just-
Yeah.
Instead, he was so much more cruel. Just, like, he was shaking it. Oh my god. Yeah. I was so worried for Mindy in the subway scene because, like, in the trailer, the way that they cut it together, it looks like they are all on the subway together. And as soon as she got separated, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I was very worried for her.
Yeah.
But she's a girl boss, so she's okay.
That one really scared me because, we talk about how this movie is just Scream 2 again. So I really thought, like her uncle, that it was going to go down and kind of in a similar fashion of just, like, no one being able to hear or see that that's happening. And I thought it would have made me really sad.
Especially because she addressed it, like, in the van. She's like, this is literally the exact way Randy died. And I was like, don't say that. Randy, take it back. Don't say that.
Yeah, the whole
Peter's
third
so
act.
cool.
the whole-
Yeah.
So cool.
And I like the idea, like the shrine
Yeah.
and that. Because, we all kind of question where did all this stuff come from? And it's because, Richie's dad has access to make stuff disappear.
I bet the production design team had a fucking field day with that. That is so cool.
I love the idea of having all of the masks and how they're all a little,
Yeah.
They
it's
get
just a
more
little bit
worn the
like
older they get.
Yeah.
How the mask gets so worn. And then, we've got the robes on the stage and everything. And then with that comes Sam's hallucinations of her dad.
Because this is the only one in the class.
Which I do not like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the hallucinations, honestly.
Like,
I think it's a cool way to bring him back.
Yeah, I love that they brought Skeet
Yeah.
back, but it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, especially like what you said earlier about like trying to redeem Billy, because he's in the first one, or in Scream 5 especially, he was like, being a good dad. And I was like, no. Why?
well, and like for me with the Scream 5 one and like him being nice and like helping
Yeah.
her, at least for me, I kind of wrote that up, okay.
She's hallucinating.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Sam's
It's in her
subconscious.
head.
And versus this one was more of like he's an
It's his
evil
goals.
presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill them all. And it's
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, it is a weird switch between the two.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess you could chalk it up to her mind state being different in each film,
Right.
but like, I don't know. They've always still just been very weird. Like, I like the concept, maybe. Like, I like the concept of bringing Skeet Ulrich back, but
Yeah.
I just don't really know if I'm a fan of the execution.
I hate that trope of like, ooh, crazy, she's crazy. Like, it's just very stigmatizing
Yeah.
for the entire mental health community.
Ooh, she goes to therapy.
She sees her shrink, she's crazy. Like, just, oh my god, I hate that so much.
Yeah.
And then like with Sam Carpenter's whole character, Sam Loomis, whatever you want to call her.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea of her, and I like the idea of, the whole
Yeah.
kid of the OG villain.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is it for at least in my opinion, or how I would feel, this is it for the will she go bad or not?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. If they try it again in 7, I'm gonna roll my eyes.
Yeah. If they do it, will they, won't they? It would be different if she like actually snapped. But if they just tease it again, it would be like, why do you keep doing it?
Because, like, she does kill a little too easily. I talked with Phil about this, about how in Scream 1, when Sydney kills Billy, she's a little too,
Yeah.
there's no hesitation, no, could I take, no, blam. And then Sam is kind of the same way in both of these movies.
Yeah.
where
But worse, because it's not just a blam, it's a step.
And that's what I was kind of, the end of this movie is, because she is struggling, am I my father, am I not, and then at the end of the movie, it's kind of like I am a killer, but I'm
I kill
good.
bad
Yeah.
I only kill bad
I
people.
horrifically murder bad people. Because, like, the stabbing up the arms.
Oh,
and
Yeah.
then the-
God.
And then straight in the eye.
and it seems like Tara approves.
Yeah, the head tilt. It's the head
Yeah,
tilt
yeah.
for me. I'm not my father. And then Tara's like, She's like, but you fucked with my family, now you must die.
I mean, Tara did stab someone in the mouth, so
That is true.
I was kind of caught off guard by that one, too, because
Yeah.
she doesn't...
She was like smiling the whole time. I was like, holy shit, girl.
Because she doesn't kill anyone in Scream 5. All she does is, like, beat Amber with her crutches.
well, she does shoot Amber.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. I forgot all that she's the... I still prefer the Babadook.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, the stabbing Ethan caught me off guard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I guess it is. When you're in that kind of situation, it's him or me. So,
Yeah.
here we go.
I'm stabbing you where it hurts.
Oh,
You just stabbed her boyfriend. Like a
That-
whole
yeah, that
lot.
too, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so much. I thought she was just gonna go sicko mode after that.
And
Like,
he was very
total
happy
adrenaline
about it.
rush.
So
Yeah.
and then he got back up after all that throat stabbing.
Yeah.
And then you got Stu Mockard.
I love that they Stu-Mockered him.
The TV.
So good. What a way to go, man. Just crushed under a big cube.
I love everything about like the shrine scenes.
Yeah.
I liked how like, Mindy and Chad were like, oh my god, this is how our uncle, like and Kirby looking at
Randy's shirt.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
and Kirby looking at the knife that stabs her and looking at Jill's outfit. It was just like
Yeah.
everything about that was just like really well done.
So good.
Yeah, we didn't lose. Now I'm sitting here thinking that we only lost red shirts this movie.
Yeah.
Only none of the returning characters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody made it through. Which that's usually how these movies go,
Yeah.
Granted, before it was just the three,
Mm-hmm.
Sydney, Gale, Dewey. We lost Dewey last time.
Oh my god, I was sobbing with the shrine with Dewey, the
Oh,
portrait
yeah.
of him. I was like, and then it had like the summary of his stab wounds. I was like,
Or it was in the movie theater
Yeah.
when they're at the concession stand.
Yeah. Because she was talking to Tara,
Oh,
and because
she's-
Tara was like, am I gonna have
She's talking to Sam.
or Sam? Yeah, Sam. I'm sorry,
And that's
switched them.
right. She's talking about like the idea of found family.
Yeah.
Hold on to that person you care about, and then it plays Dewey's theme.
Yeah.
And that is what got me. I was like, damn.
Damn. I knew we were gonna, we couldn't just have like a legacy character death that big and then
yeah.
not mention it.
Mhm.
But it still hurt.
Randy still makes me really sad too. I miss that funky little guy every day.
Yeah. That's why they cannot touch the Meeks.
Yeah. Every time they say Uncle Randy, I just sob. Uncle Randy. I do hope at some point that the killer is a returning character. I think that would really shake things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not anyone like major, but just like some minor.
I know
returning
they
character.
were intending to do that with Jill,
Mm.
and that it was going to end at the house and be a cliffhanger in Scream 4.
Oh.
And then they later just added the hospital stuff at the end. But it was supposed to be like a two-parter, where in the next one, Sydney has amnesia and doesn't remember that Jill is Ghostface. And so there's kind of like that,
That's crazy. What?
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't end up going
Oh my
through with
God.
it. I guess it didn't really test well and, studio
Yeah.
interference. But yeah, they were going to do that. And I thought that was kind of a neat idea.
Yeah.
The idea of us going into the next one knowing who the Ghostface
Mm-hmm.
is. And yeah, nobody else knows.
Right.
Kind of going back to what you thought was going to happen with Tony Revolori's character.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a returning Ghostface, Morgan? Like, Phil and I were talking, the only ones who could come back would be Stu or
Oh, right.
Jill.
Yeah, those are the only ones who could have survived.
Oh, how could Jill?
They didn't shoot her in the head.
I was going to say, like, she's dead at the end of that movie,
Right.
but they could easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would be down for that. I think they would definitely have to pair it with someone else, like how Mrs. Loomis had Mickey as like her side guy, like doing all the dirty work for her. I think it would be like that, but Stu is like pulling the strings, or Jill is pulling the strings, and then they have someone else because they're like too infamous to be like out and about without the mask on. I think that would be really cool.
Because
I'm down for a Stu Macher comeback. I love Matthew
Yeah.
Lillard so much.
I really think
And I feel like he'd be down for it. Like, I know he would. So, yeah.
there had to be someone who knew what they were doing, like
Right.
with the shrine thing and all that. They knew it would.
It's the good of Stu.
Yeah, someone would. We would all grab onto that and run with it. Windows are getting all hot and steamy. People gonna think we doing something else.
Making a different kind of video.
Oh. Demonetized.
Ghostface with shotgun. Cool.
Oh, that's the action sequence I'm forgetting.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
arguably the best.
The bodega.
Yeah.
The bodega one is really good. With
Yeah.
just how the call starts and how he just
Yeah.
like jumps out from that
Yeah.
apartment building.
Yeah.
And then just the chase on the street. It's New York. People are always screaming. Nobody's paying them any mind.
I'm trying to remember where the detective was.
Was he introduced yet at that point?
He was, because he had just called them to come to the station.
No, yeah, because
So
they
he
found her
obviously
ID.
set that up, but I don't remember. I don't know if that was him.
Yeah, it could have maybe been because he was at the crime scene for the film students,
Mhm.
and he found Sam's
Oh.
ID, and he was like, "Yeah, you guys need to come to the
Nice.
station."
Yeah.
And that's where they're walking, right? When
Yeah.
they get jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and then she gets the call, and it's like you from Richie's phone,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
which just clicked for me.
Why?
my
That's how that it's
God.
from Richie's phone, and it's because it's his family.
Yeah.
Richie's phone.
Yeah, and then you get the like, you better watch your back, you better watch yours, and that's when he jumps out.
That like validates the twist a lot more for me. Actually,
Yeah.
that detail that kind of just changed everything.
Yeah, it did. I didn't click those two together until just
That
now.
makes so much sense. Oh my god, they're geniuses. I take back everything. They're so smart.
Bodega's real good. Ghostface with the shotgun is scary because,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
you can avoid a knife versus
Yeah.
what do you do at that close of range with a shotgun?
Yeah.
Them crunching on the glass had my
Yeah.
heart just going. Oh my god. I still don't know how Ghostface recovers when he gets like whapped in the face with a frying
I
pan
was
repeatedly
thinking it.
and like bricks and all sorts of stuff. I was like, oh, he's down for the count. The camera that Chad threw at him. I was like, he's not getting up.
I know. I thought that in my head
I know, he's like a
during that
cartoon
scene of
character.
like, do you know how heavy those cameras are? If
Literally.
I smacked you in the face with it, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
Back up.
And the frying pan,
Yeah.
like 2 separate frying pans. I was like, yeah, I'd be down for the count. I genuinely don't know how he gets back up.
Yeah. What the hell are they making those masks out of?
He's got a football helmet on under the mask.
One of the old leather ones.
Oh, God.
I thought you were gonna flashbang us just now.
You'd be like, this.
Oh,
I mean, you would have been able to see me in this video at least.
I was thinking
So that would
it.
have been nice.
Okay, we gotta do the whole thing over again.
No.
indie.
I'm sorry this video was so dark.
Yeah.
We
He wanted to turn the lights off for some reason.
well, because Morgan is in shadow. Not so much now, but
Yeah.
Pom pom. Foreboding.
I thought the lights looked bad when we started. Now it's been an hour and it's dark.
Yeah.
It gets dark fast.
Yeah.
We made it another year.
Yeah. I
We
can't
did
believe.
it,
Yeah.
gamers.
6 Scream movies. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think we continue on after this point?
I think they'll at least do 7 and finish out the trilogy.
Yeah. I
And
could see
then
them
I
just
feel
doing
like
their.
they'll wait 10 more years until Sydney's kids are grown up because she has little ones in
Yeah.
5, and then wait until they're like teenagers and do it all again.
Oh, no.
Give Nev more money.
Yeah, I could totally see that. But I could totally see this being like the Radio Silence trilogy. And it's just like, this is our sequel trilogy. And we're doing commentary on sequel trilogies. And I think that's really fun
Yeah.
and cool. And
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know where they will go with 7. But I mean, I'm not doubting them. I don't think that, that they can't pull off a 7th film. I just don't see personally where they would go. Especially
Right.
with where we leave these characters off. And like you said, we've done Sam, is Sam crazy or not thing. Like we've done that like 2 movies at this point, and she
Yeah.
literally drops the mask at the end of this film. So
Yeah.
it would be, but then again, they did backtrack on Gail, so maybe they'll backtrack on her and just be like, oh, she's not on her meds anymore. And,
Oh, no.
No.
but yeah, I would love to see a 7th film. Just
Yeah.
don't know what to expect. What
Yeah.
I want from a 7th film. I don't have any wants.
Remake Scream 3.
I mean, that would be fun. I think that would be
Do
really
it
fun.
again.
Roman lived. Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh,
Connor
God.
said the same thing, and I made a joke. It's just like he just had a metal plate in his head. It's fine.
5 was just Scream 1 again. 6 was just 2 again. So Scream 3, or 7 is 3 again, and it's Stu.
Yes.
Stu's the mastermind.
Yeah.
They could bring Angelina back. Have her actually be a killer this time.
True.
I wanted my moment in the spotlight, and Ghostface stole it from me. Now I'm Ghostface. Put me in, coach. I'll write it.
You heard it here first, folks. Radio silence. I expect our check in the mail.
The opening scene shows why it is so scary to date on Tinder as a woman, but also don't be stupid and go into alleys with strangers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to always bring pepper spray or a taser to tase someone's balls.
I thought that was.
That's my advice.
I thought it was really well done, though.
Yeah.
Just like the whole, can't see you. Are you in this alley? And I just thought that, like, the tension of that was done really well. That was a really good opening scene.
I could tell it was Tony's voice as soon as he was talking on
Yeah.
the phone. I was like, Bestie, you're not
And
you're not
that's-
hiding your voice at
Yeah.
all. And that's kind of why I thought he wouldn't be the Ghostface, because I was like, they would not just do that out the gate. And then he took the mask off, and I was like, oh, well, maybe they will. I don't know.
That's what,
I don't know anymore.
like you said, it was Tony's voice,
Yeah.
not Roger at the start. And
Yeah.
so what I thought is, for me, it was I couldn't tell who was about to get ghost-faced.
Yeah.
Because you know how he's, there's someone standing there with a nut,
Yeah.
And, I don't see anyone. And so it was
Yeah.
okay, which one of them is she going to hear him get ghost-faced? Or is
Yeah.
she getting ghost-faced? And then she walks down the alley and you hear that, the ring of the voice changer. And then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also liked Tony's part of the opening, where just like the hot and cold, like you're getting warmer. I love that. That was really cool.
new kind of game.
Yeah.
New party game.
Yeah. And then the opening line before the title slash, just like who gives a fuck about movies? It was really good.
That's how I immediately knew it wasn't Stu.
Yeah.
I wish it was, though.
My hopes of the cult of Stu immediately crumbled. The opening.
Yeah. That was another reason with like kind of the Kirby twist of just her kind of having those like flashbacks of just like, this is the knife that stabbed me, and she was stabbed by like a movie nerd. So it's just like brief. That's the only thing that kind of briefly helped that, like, fake out. It was just like, maybe it is her, because she would be a person who says who gives a fuck about movies and then like stabs. I could kind of see it, but yeah.
You should
I just
write
really
the
loved it.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kirby's revenge arc. Her reputation era, if you will.
I mean, she had the cool leather jacket and everything. The only thing was off was that horrible dollar store wig.
No.
I still can't believe they did that to her.
Oh my god. Yeah. It's unforgivable.
Like, usually movie wigs are so good, I have a hard time telling if they're a wig or not, because they have like the nice lace front and it's like glued down all nice and professional, and they literally just got a $20 Amazon wig and
Yeah.
took it out and put it on her head. And I
Yeah.
was like,
And it's just like not moving, and she's like, Kirby, FBI.
It's like a helmet.
Yeah.
it's so big and it's so blonde, and I'm just like, they did her so dirty.
Yeah.
So sad.
To go from like the coolest hairstyle in the franchise to that. But yeah, and also briefly going back to like the Kirby fake out, just the idea, like I could kind of see the motive, even though I said it would like kind of be like jumping the shark, but I could kind of see the motive of just like if it was the conspiracy theory thing, so she like thinks Sam is a ghost face that got away, and so she thinks she's doing the right thing, and that's why she's after Sam, and with the whole "you're gonna pay for what you did" type of thing. And so she's kind of, I didn't know if like they were gonna try to do a thing where she has like PTSD war flashbacks and just thinks of Sam as like the new Jill, and she's like, I gotta stop her. And it's like, no, I didn't kill those people, but Kirby's just like, I don't believe you type of thing. I thought that's also what they were kind of maybe gonna do, and then they didn't.
Fast car.
Yeah.
It's an Easter egg for the Fast and Furious video.
You heard it here first, folks.
She said it. You spoke it into existence.
She
You shouldn't have
agreed.
said anything. You know fandoms.
You know, fandom.
Fandoms be like,
How can fandom be toxic?
it's love. Yeah, that motive settles better with me over time. Because I really didn't really care for Richie and Amber's motive in Scream. But
Yeah.
with the upon rewatch, which was my first time watching since theaters, I was like, oh, I don't know. Maybe I've just had a really bad year with fandom, just seeing fandom, and I'm like, you know what? I see it now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I like that they nipped that in the bud very early on in this movie too, because they introduced the new ghost faces and it's like, oh, they're film students, ha ha ha,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
finishing the movie, they're dead. We're not doing it again.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
I was like, that is nice. That is good.
yeah. They did. Yeah, that is interesting because you do have Tony's character say, "But what about finishing the movie?" And it's who gives a fuck.
about the movie?
That is pretty neat.
Yeah.
I have you both.
Kidnapping me. My
Yeah.
car's over there.
He's taking us both to his movie turtle lair, where we will pump out content for him for the rest of our days.
Listen, the mansion ain't gonna fund itself.
Oh my God.
I debated bringing it.
Can you put popcorn in this, please? I will pay money.
Literally debated bringing it and buying like a large
Yeah.
popcorn and just dumping it into it.
Oh my God.
Just-
They made us do that once at my home theater. They were like, we can't put the popcorn in the bucket, but we can put the popcorn in a paper bucket and then dump it into the metal bucket for you. And I was like, why do we have to have the extra step?
that was what they did with the ghost
We're
face.
just gonna put it in there anyway. Maybe it's for like measuring. Like maybe the metal bucket would have too much popcorn in it. But at that point, like popcorn is cheap. Like why are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ghost face one, they did the same thing. And then also, when I poured it in, it appears like the ghost face isn't the size of a large popcorn.
Oh.
So that's why, like, because you're still paying for the large popcorn, so that's why they give you the paper to, you know.
To measure.
Here you go. Dump what fits into the head and eat the rest, pig. No, kidding. Are we actually done now?
I think so. I have nothing else to say.
We keep
I
saying
think-
closing thoughts, and then we.
And then something fires up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I think I have said everything that I need to say about this movie at this moment.
I think so too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our thoughts. Thanks for taking the time to listen and watch us ramble about this movie. Say your channels.
My channel. I have a channel called Phil with 1L. I do movies and pop culture commentary. So yeah, come check me out.
My channel is Morgan M. Steele. I talk about whatever the fuck I feel like that week. And that's just kind of how it's going for me right now.
Yay.
If you want more Sims content, yeah, she's your girl.
I just did a tier list.
Iconic.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna play with werewolves soon.
Oh no.
If any of you would like to be present.
You never know.
I was gonna say, don't get used to seeing us
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
We'll be back to the rectangles in the next video.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah.
Well, thank you for watching. See you in the next
Bye-bye.
one.